Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's In Conversations with Changemakers Data Insight series. Now, for those of you who are new connections, my name is Luli Adeyemo, and I'm thrilled to have Odigie from Tendertrace with me today. Now, we're going to dive into the power of Tendertrace, and I'm really interested in seeing how a government-biased supplier panel within the data center and cloud tech category is represented in the platform. Now, Abu, it's great to have you here again.
Hi, Luli. Thank you very much for having me back. I hope you're doing well.
Very well, thank you very much. Now, Boo, as a salesperson to government in your previous life, you're well accustomed to the elevator pitch. So, challenge for today. In 60 seconds and no more, can you give us a review of Tendertrace and how it assists your clients, such as Microsoft, in the public sector tech space?
Okay, thanks for the challenge, but I can do less than 60 seconds, right? Because I have heard you describe Tendertrace as a search engine for government tenders, right? And that's essentially what it is, really. We've built a robust search engine, right? But when you look under the hood, what you will find is, a comprehensive market intelligence platform that aggregates the open source government spend data and provides that actionable intelligence with insights and analysis.
Now that sounds great, Abu. Well done on completing the challenge. Very impressed. Now, before we delve into the platform, I'd like to share an interesting statistic that I shared in my network recently. Now, media outlet CIO Online reported that nearly half, 42% of the nation's federal agencies rely on Macquarie Government's cloud solutions and services to address stringent security and sovereignty requirements. With that in mind, Abu, how easy is it to use Tendertrace to uncover other providers and assess the value of their contracts, which are soon to expire?
Absolutely easy. I think that is the real core of the platform there, Luli. The best way to do it is allow me to demonstrate it, right?
Go for it.
Okay, brilliant. If I can share my screen, if you give me a second,
go for it.
I will do just that. So again, we're talking today about data center and cloud, but I must preface this with that Tendertrace is built on a keyword query engine, and that keyword query engine under the hood is all about using AI to generate the right data or the relevant data for our customers. So essentially what I've done here is quite simple. I've said, show me data center. I've used the two types of data center language, the American and also the correct English data center there. I've also used cloud there. So those three keywords is what we'll be drilling into today. Now, by way of market sizing, since we're looking at FY24 around the corner there, right? I've set the time frame to say, show me contracts in these in FY24 across data center, cloud, and data center, right? Let's do that. So I've done my homework already. So very quickly, what you can see by way of result is $4.1 billion in FY24.
Quick, is that all states and territories, Abu?
Oh, that's a big
number. That's a big number.
It is a huge number, and that is across all states, all jurisdiction, including federal government, right? Later on, I will show you some insights around federal government only when we're looking at perhaps panels, but yeah, that number is across all jurisdictions.
Okay? Wow, okay.
Okay, so by way of number of expiring contracts in the next financial year, it's 1,500 odd contracts there. Now, how does that split look like? You're looking at 4 billion for cloud alone, and you're looking at, for data center, the right English, 200 million and 324 million for data center with an RE.
I bet that's changed. That split has changed over the last 6 to 8 years, Abu.
Yeah, the cloud marketplace has changed, obviously, with you can see over the last 8 years, and that analysis can be done on Tendertrace as well. So let me take you to how, again, that same query across the last few financial years. So you're looking at, from a from a cloud perspective, you're looking at FY19 at 441 million, and look at that growth across time. That's a 37% growth. Then there is a 216% growth. Yeah, there's a significant dip there, but now at FY23, from 414 or so, you're looking at 3 billion in the cloud spend across that time period, right?
Wow.
You can also, right, look at who the suppliers are across that time.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, did I? There you go. So, and this is very important because you have a sense of who's playing within the space that you're interested in. So for FY23, you're looking at, SAP, IBM, Advent One, Fujitsu, and AWS, the top 5 players within, the cloud and data center, that particular keyword itself that we've just queried.
So you can, what I take from that, you can use Tendertrace to do some sort of a competitive analysis across keywords.
Yes, and absolutely you can, but you can also do more. It's also, well, where do I invest, our time as a sales organization? Do we focus on federal government next year for cloud or data center, or do we spend our time in New South Wales? Well, let's break that down. So you can quickly have a look at that and say, well, where does federal government sit based on that big query there? $4 billion, 1.9 billion in Fed, 46% of that market share. 31% going to New South Wales at 1.3 billion. And then then you can see the breakdown across all other states and jurisdictions.
And can we see who the buyers are, Abu, within those states?
Can.
Yeah.
Let's go to buyers here. And obviously, Department of Defense, it always tops the chart. And you can see them at $531 million for cloud and data center
who's
for FY24.
Who's digital and ICT? They're not far behind.
Digital and ICT is New South Wales Customer Services, Department of Customer Services, and that is also at 494 million. So there is a lot of expiring cloud and data center contracts in New South Wales as well. But I think this is a very good question, and that your question is very significant. And what we do on Tendertrace is to really help you understand who your buyers are. So let's jump quickly into Department of Defense. What we do here is give you a single, a single pane of glass, right? By aggregating all that information on that particular government department and show you some insights for your account planning. So, for example, here's the Department of Defense. Over the last 12 months, there's been a 21% decline in spend. So they have actually published $26 billion in spend across 21,000 contracts. There's also a decline in the number of contracts awarded as well. But I think salespeople were all interested in what's coming up by way of expiry contracts. So, by way of expiry contracts, 28 billion in the next 12 months from today. That's the value.
Wow. And I'm assuming we can delve into that 28 billion as well, Abu?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can break down that 28 billion is spread across, 12,000 contracts, and you can go into that and further analyze that and see those individual contracts, break that down into across sector, and across capabilities.
Wow. Okay, let's pause there. So, we've looked at how easy it is to run a query based on the keywords data center, start both ways, and cloud. We've looked at what the breakdown of that is by state and territory, so we can see where the most spend is and who the buyers are within that, and who are the suppliers, the main suppliers that are winning those contracts. Awesome. At the beginning, I said I'm really interested in looking at the actual buyer panels, the data center and cloud. Can you show us a bit of insight around that, Abu?
Yeah, it's an excellent point there. So with regards to the panel arrangements and Tendertrace, right, we have a powerful tool that helps you uncover that provides, first of all, provides insight analysis into panels that allow you to be laser focused on what panel arrangement is working and where you should place your bet in, right? So before we go into that, this particular query we've just done, the exact same query for cloud and data center, we've narrowed that down to federal government because we have insights and provide insights into federal government panels at the moment. And you can have a sense of what that breakdown is. So that's 1.9 billion, right, for Fed government. Now, that's split across 1.5 billion of those expiring contracts falling under a form of panel arrangement, and 467 million in non-panel contracts.
You know what I'm going to ask now, don't you?
Can we break
panels?
That? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes, you can.
It's something I hear all the time. I mean, you know, the panel conversation is always a big one. So yeah, I'd love to see a bit more. I'm sure everybody else would love to see a breakdown of that.
Absolutely, you can break down. You can click on this, and that further breaks down and drills down into panels. But let's focus on some keywords, right? So let's focus on the keywords we're here talking about today. We're talking about cloud and data center. So within Tendertrace, again, it's all about using keywords to drive results, to provide actionable intelligence. So it's saying, how can we use cloud and data center to get results and identify what panel arrangements have these keywords appeared under as government spent for these capabilities. So we've done that query very quickly, and you can start to see a list of panel arrangements where the government has spent on that cloud and data center. So again, this is cumulative of cloud and data center. You can do that individually as well if you want to focus on each capability. Now, here is IBM whole of government. Obviously, that's for IBM. That's what, it's 790 million. But I think let's go to cloud marketplace. I think that's very interesting here. So you're looking at 89 contracts, 89 suppliers there, worth 367 million. And then, you've got your digital marketplace 1.0 that's being run by the DTA, and that is 22 billion in size.
Wow. And again, I'm assuming we'll be able to delve into that if we wanted to and look at who those suppliers are. Fantastic.
Absolutely. And let's do that. Let's jump into cloud marketplace. So cloud marketplace here, right? Again, the aggregation, single pane of glass, showing you, giving you actionable intelligence in the next 12 months, right? Before I actually go there, here's something interesting. What we can show, you right now the active number of contracts within that marketplace. So there's 188 million active contracts, not expired, right? That's across 169 contracts. In the next 12 months, there's $42 million dollars worth of expiring contracts that's cut across 88 contracts itself. We would also show you the breakdown. We give you a leaderboard as to who the top suppliers are. SFDC, DXC coming there right on top there. We can show you the buyer breakdown over there. We can show you the participant across time. Over here, you can see the buyer, that you can see Office of Australian Accounting Standards here, and you can see that analysis and their spend over time, how they've been tracking within that particular panel. And we can also show you who, if any, the inactive suppliers within a panel arrangement.
Well, I mean, the dynamic nature, Abu, of the insights here is second to none. I can see the value from a marketing point of view, definitely a sales point of view, a business analyst point of view. That I'm going to pause there, Abu. I feel like we could go on all day, and I think there's a lot of intelligence we can get, and I think that's coming across really strong. Conscious of time, so are you able to summarize? I'm not going to give you a 60-second challenge again, but can you summarize the key takeaways for our viewers today, please?
Okay, yeah, and thanks for not making me do this in 60 seconds. So again, it's all about having a powerful search engine tool that allows organization analyze their capabilities within the government, within public sector spend, or within the government sector itself, right? Then again, it's the ability and how Tendertrace can help you use keywords to really understand what the competitive landscape looks like and just give you that level of situational awareness of the market. And by way of panels and how we've looked at panels today, just having a sense of understanding, where your focus ought to be, with the details, with the insights and the intelligence we provide within that space. And finally, I always love to say this: we help organizations make informed decisions, help them build, winning strategy, and just really help them impact their bottom line by way of revenue in the public sector space.
Wow, I love it. Winning strategies and impacting the bottom line sounds good to me. So Abu, thank you very much for joining us again today and sharing some insights. Are you able to supply our viewers with a copy of any of the findings from today's data center and cloud? I've had a few enterprise sales people reach out to me about that. Is that something you can provide?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the data you've seen today, we are happy to put that on the deck and happy to share that out. You can check out our website to download them, or you can reach out to myself or yourself, or reach out to me on LinkedIn. So
that would be abu@tendertrace.com or visit tendertrace.com.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Abu, thank you once again for joining us. I hope you'll come again soon, and thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.